discuss one problem. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Acha. So similar sort of problem. দেখো I have already shared. এটা share আমি করেছি. So it's just a similar sort of problem. So this side is aluminium, this side is brass. So the problem number is P260, edition 6. So aluminium, for aluminium, (2000 mm²). And for brass must stainless steel. It is SS. So for stainless steel, AS হচ্ছে 800 mm², ES হচ্ছে 190 GPa, alpha S হচ্ছে 17.3 into 10 to the power minus 6 degrees centigrade per degree centigrade. So delta T, so see they have given one reference temperature. So the reference temperature is given to be 20 degrees centigrade and the final temperature is given to be 140 degrees centigrade. So delta T, as you can understand, so delta T will be equal to 140 minus 20. So that should be equal to 120 degrees centigrade. So this is delta T, and we are supposed to find out the thermal expansion in the we are supposed to find out the compressive force developed in the system. So এটা কি করে করব, how to go about this problem? Similar sort of problem, then just similar to the previous one. So এটা কি করে করব, any idea?
স্যার আগের প্রবলেমের মতন ইকুয়েশন ফর্ম করে লিখে দেবো, সেম ফান্ডাতেই তো হবে।
সেম ফান্ডাতে হবে, তাহলে একটু করে নাও তাড়াতাড়ি প্রবলেমটা। এই দুটো প্রবলেম একটু ইম্পর্টেন্ট। দাঁড়াও। So here you are supposed to find out the normal stress in the aluminium rod. So you have to find out the normal stress that gets developed in the aluminium rod, or what else? The change in length of the aluminium rod. So প্রথমে delta T টা বের করো, find out what is the delta T caused due to thermal expansion. So the total thermal expansion you calculate. So total thermal expansion delta T, just you calculate. So it should be LA into alpha A into delta T plus LS into alpha S into delta T. So just put the values. So LA টা কত আছে, 0.3 into alpha A. So alpha A is 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 6 plus LS হচ্ছে 0.25 into alpha S হচ্ছে 17.3 into 10 to the power minus 6 into delta T. So what is delta T? So delta T is 120. So দেখো delta T কত আসছে। So delta T টা কত হবে একটু ক্যালকুলেট করো তাড়াতাড়ি। Calculate this faster. যদি করে থাকো বলো আনসারটা, or it's given in the note page number. Just to refer to page number 17 in the note.
1.25 mm, sir.
7. 27 in the note. ठीक है? So see what is delta T coming out to be?
1.35.
Huh?
1.35.
1.35 millimeter আসবে. So as you can understand, this 1.35 millimeter is greater than 0.5. So 1.35 millimeter, which is greater than the gap of 0.5 millimeter. You have to just check. It is greater na hoy, then there will be no compressive forces. So since it's greater than this one, so let P be the compressive forces. So you refer to the notes actually. So let P be the compressive forces developed. So just to calculate delta P. So see, I have calculated delta P. So delta P will be equal to P into LA divided by AA into EA plus P into LS divided by AS into ES. So just calculate this one, put all the values, you don't know P. So it will be something in terms of P. So it will come out to be 3.65 into 10 to the power minus 9 P. ठीक है? So as you can now understand that the total thermal expansion minus the compression should be equal to the gap. Okay, see it's done in the note actually. So from there you can calculate the value of P. So into P ta calculate karo just tatri karo. So once you get the value of P, you can calculate sigma A. Okay, so P will be a compressive force on both the systems. So P is the force on the entire system. Okay.
232.3
স্যার পিটা কিভাবে হচ্ছে একটু বলবেন স্যার?
হ্যাঁ
স্যার পিটা কিভাবে হচ্ছে ওটা একটু বলবেন?
হ্যাঁ, পিটা হচ্ছে এইভাবে, মানে এখন জিনিসটা এরম হয়ে গেছে, মানে জিনিসটা টাচ হয়ে গেছে, ঠিক আছে? সো এইটা হয়ে গেল ফাইনাল সিস্টেমটা। So this is the final system that gets developed after the expansion. So there is an expansion. So a duto system. So they are free to expand on the same side actually. It left side. This is on the right side. So that is why a time will come when they will meet each other. So once they start expanding, they will meet each other and then they will start developing compressive forces on each other, so that the entire system gets in compression. So this is the force P. That is the resultant compressive force after the gap has been filled up. বুঝা গেছে? এই ফোর্সটা কিন্তু P এক্সিস্টেন্স হচ্ছে only after the gap has been filled up. বুঝা গেছে? এই P এর এক্সিস্টেন্স is only after the gap is filled up, not before that.
হ্যাঁ স্যার, বুঝা গেছে। আর তারপর থার্মাল
হ্যাঁ, so delta P পেয়ে গেলে, so once you get the delta P, so delta theta, so delta T won't be allowed. So it won't allow 1.35. It will allow 0.5 only. So we get difference, so that difference is the compression resulting from this compressive force. বোঝা গেল? মানে total thermal expansion minus the gap, that will give the compressive shortening. So just you can equate those. That I have written, like if you refer to the notes, so thermal expansion minus the compressive shortening. So এটা তোমরা এইভাবে লিখতে পারো যে, আচ্ছা, so এটা সরিয়ে দিচ্ছি। So now this thermal expansion delta T, which is much bigger, so minus the gap. So how far it is allowed? It is allowed up to the gap. So this gap, so this portion is only resulting in the compressive shortening, delta P. So now you put all the values. So from here you can get the value of P. So just delta T, you put this one. So
মানে স্যার যতটা গ্যাপ আসে ততটাই কম্প্রেস হতে পারবে হাইয়েস্ট,
ততটাই। হ্যাঁ, মানে কম্প্রেসিভ ফোর্সটা এটা আসছে, এটা ইন এফেক্ট আসছে আফটার দিস গ্যাপ ইজ ফিল্ড আপ, মানে ডেল্টা টি মাইনাস গ্যাপ, সেইটুকুই দ্যাট কম্প্রেশন ইজ বিং, সেইটুকুই ইজ বিং মানে রেজাল্টিং ইন দ্য কম্প্রেসিভ শর্টেনিং। ঠিক আছে? তো দিস কম্প্রেসিভ হবে দ্যাট ইজ ডেল্টা টি মাইনাস গ্যাপ। আর তার আগে কম্প্রেসিভ ফোর্স ইজ সেট আপ আফটার এইটুকু হওয়ার পরে কম্প্রেসিভ ফোর্সটা সেট আপ হচ্ছে, মানে আফটার দ্য গ্যাপ ইজ ফিল্ড আপ then the compressive force is resulting, not before that.
Sir, can you speak in English, please?
Yeah, sure. So the compressive, so this, I hope you can understand that the thermal expansion. So this
Sir, is LA the previous length? Is LA the initial length?
LA is the initial length of the rods. We have also.
But sir, why would we use the LA part? Because that's not the original length, because the elongated length must be used in finding of del p.
কোনটা মানে তুমি বলছো
Sir,
এখানে 1 প্লাস ডেল্টা করে করবে
হ্যাঁ 1 plus alpha t করে।
ওটা দিয়ে তো টোটাল লেন্থ আসবে না স্যার? ওটা তো আমাদের
মানে
concept-
স্যার আমার
তো-
ইলংগেটেড লেন্থ তার ওপরে তো আমি ওটাকে ছোট করছি, মানে আমার ওটা হিসাব মতো মানে হাইপোথেটিক্যালি বাড়ছে, তারপরে ছোট হয়ে ওইখানে গিয়ে ওর কন্ট্রাক্টটা হয়ে ও একটা পি জেনারেট করছে, একটা রেজিস্টিভ ফোর্স। কিন্তু এই এলএটার মানেটা কি? এলএটা মানে হচ্ছে আমি টেনে বড় করছি ওটাকে।
মানে অবভিয়াসলি সেটা রিজনেবল, মানে তুমি যেটা বলছো সেটা রিজনেবল, মানে এই মানে সেইং সামথিং লাইক যে ধরো দিস ইজ এক্সপ্যান্ডিং, দিস ইজ অলসো এক্সপ্যান্ডিং, সো সেইখানে কিন্তু
এক্সপান্ড হওয়ার পরেই তো ওই ফোর্সটা ফিল করবে পিএলএ।
আমি ভুল বললে তুমি আবার একটু কারেক্ট করো, ঠিক আছে? সো যেটা তুমি করতে পারো সেটা ইজ অলসো এ প্রসেস, আমার মনে হয় না এটাতেও ভুল আসবে। সো যেটা তুমি বলছো যে এইখানে সিন্স ডেল্টা পি, সো দিস ডেল্টা পি কামস ইনটু এফেক্ট when this মানে এইটা এক্সপ্যান্ড করছে, this is expanding, this is expanding, so somewhere they meet, like say this is the final position, so let this one be the initial aluminum length and let this be the final aluminum length, so let's call it like LAF. Because they are meeting somewhere around here. So this was the initial length of the steel, stainless steel bar. So let's call it LS, and then let's call it LS final. So he's just telling that once they start meeting, then the compressive force comes into effect. So that is why. So you may try it also. আমার মনে হয় না আনসারে খুব একটা ডিফারেন্স আসবে, বিকজ মানে এই লেন্থ গুলো এতটাই শর্ট, মানে ওই 0.5 মিলিমিটার আর 300। সো আমার মনে হয়
কেউ মনে হয় জয়েন করার চেষ্টা করছে।
হ্যাঁ, সো তুমি যেটা বলতে চাইছো, লেট us see যে সব ভ্যালুজ अवेलेबल কিনা। সো দিস শুড বি p into LA, but p টা কমন নিয়ে নাও, সো take p as common, so this should be something like AAEA plus LS into LS final divided by AS ES, then outside you put it as p. So now you need to see what is LAF. So LAF will be equal to, so you can get it, I think. So this is actually LA into 1 plus alpha A into delta T. Koro, you have a Koro, you do it like this also. So I don't think a values will could differ korbe.
Sir,
So
someone is trying to join.
One second. So AS into ES. So this is the expression for your delta B. So just check what is the value coming. A value ta kore dekho whether it is something different from this one. Mane kotota, let us see what is the difference. Because this value is already something to the power 9. Just check what is the value you get. Mane it is perfectly reasonable what you told. So that is why I adopted this one. So it will also be giving the same results. Khub beshi there won't be different, mane too much differences. Just have to check karo, just check what is the value you are getting for this one. Mane just you add on this part. Mane just 8 part if you add, you will be getting the answer. Eta plus eta. বোঝা গেছে? So what some suggest করলে এটা? Hello? When last year also someone suggested this one, a student actually. So I tried this one. When I cannot find it in the note, I haven't corrected that. So that is why I adopted this one. Eta korlo, but the value won't differ actually. ঠিক আছে? দেখো ভ্যালুটা খুব একটা ডিফারেন্ট হবে না। But this is perfectly reasonable because কারণ যেহেতু after achieving the final length they are getting compressed. ঠিক আছে? কিন্তু এখানে আবার ফাইনাল লেন্থটা বোঝাটাও একটু মুশকিল আছে। মানে এই যে তুমি once you take these values LA into 1 plus alpha into delta T, this is what is supposed, মানে what it is supposed to expand, but it hasn't expanded up to this. বুঝেছো? মানে this is a supposed expansion. মানে it might cross this one. Had there been no gap, it might have crossed this one. বুঝেছো?
Yes, sir. The LAF must crossing the datum line you have drawn. Yes. Then, as if hypothetically it expanded, then we compressed it by some deformation, and that's why the resistive force is coming into action.
Exactly, you are right, but hypothetically you are taking this length LA into 1 plus alpha delta T, but এইটা actually হবে না কারণ মানে আমি পরে মানে after a second thought, but এইটা the total length which we will achieve for free expansion. So here there is not free expansion.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি কিছুটা কম্প্রেশন হয়ে যাচ্ছে অলরেডি।
হ্যাঁ, ওই free expansion হওয়ার আগেই কিন্তু ওর একটা compression হয়ে যাচ্ছে। So that is why I hope যে এই মানে এইটা
না আমি
আবার-
বলতে চাইছি ওই ফ্রি ওই কম্প্রেশনটা হওয়ার জন্যই এই পি ফোর্সটার মানে এই যে পি যে রেজিস্টিভ ফোর্সটা এটা তো অবভিয়াসলি কোনো না কোনো একটা কম্প্রেশনের জন্য হবে।
দাঁড়াও দাঁড়াও।
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হ্যাঁ তুমি একটা কাজ করতে পারো, জাস্ট ইউ ফাইন্ড আউট দ্য টোটাল এক্সপ্যানশন, এইটার সাথে আবার ডেল্টা টি টা মাইনাস করতে হবে অ্যাকচুয়ালি, কিন্তু সে ডেল্টা টি মানে গ্যাপটা তো ইউ ডোন্ট নো হুইচ সাইড ইটস গোইং, ঠিক আছে? সো ইটস বেটার ইউ ডু বাই দিস মেথড অনলি, ইউ টেক দ্য দিস এক্সপ্যানশন and do it, because you cannot add up this one also, because this is the length, this is the free expansion length, not the constant expansion, ঠিক আছে? So এইটা add up করাটাও there is also, this is also questionable, this is also questionable, but since the lengths are very small, you will be getting a closer value with this also, with this also, so better you add up this one. এটা আমি মুছে দিচ্ছি, because this is something that results in free expansion, so this is, it hasn't expanded to the full length, so how can you take this length, ঠিক আছে?
না না স্যার
Sir?
আমি বলতে চাইছি যে
এটা আমি মুছে দিচ্ছি, ঠিক আছে? এবার কেটে রাখছি দাদা, তো এটা আমি কেটে দিচ্ছি, কেটে দিচ্ছি কারণ বুঝতে পারলে তো? আই এম জাস্ট ক্রসিং দিস ওয়ান, বিকজ ইফ ইউ অ্যাডপ্ট দিস ওয়ান, তাহলে এটা তো টোটাল ফ্রি এক্সপ্যানশন হয়নি, বুঝেছো তো? মানে ইট হ্যাজন্ট টোটালি
না
এক্সপ্যান্ডেড।
স্যার আমি বলতে চাইছি যে যদি আমি এটুকু তো বুঝতে পারছি ফ্রি এক্সপ্রেশন হচ্ছে না, কিন্তু এবার আমি যদি ওই আগের মেথডটা যদি করি, আমি তাহলে প্রশ্ন করবো যে তাহলে আমার মানে কম্প্রেসিভ ফোর্সটা আসছে কোথা থেকে? আমার লেন্থটা কন্ট্রাক্ট না করলে বা লেন্থটা ইলংগেট না করলে আমি তো কোনো স্ট্রেন পাবো না, মানে ওই ডেট মানে কি বলবো ওই ইন্টারফেসে আমি কোনো ফোর্স পাবো না, রেজিস্টিভ ফোর্স।
আরে ওটাই তো স্যার এতক্ষণ ধরে বলছি যে তোকে একটা জিনিস মানে ধরে নিতে হবে। অ্যাকচুয়াল তুই যেটা বলছিস সেই কথাটা ঠিক, যে ওটা কম্প্রেশন ছাড়া হবে না, কোনো ফোর্স আসবে না ভিতরে।
তুমি যেহেতু গ্যাপটা ইউ ডোন্ট নো হুইচ সাইড ইটস এক্সপ্যান্ডিং, সো ওইটা তুমি মাইনাসও করতে পারছো না, যে মানে আগে তাহলে একটা ফাইনাল লেন্থ বের করতে হবে, দিয়ে করতে হবে, মানে বা তুমি এক কাজ করতে পারো,
আচ্ছা
মানে আমি একটা এরকম ধরতে পারি যে বাঁ দিক থেকে এক্স ধরুন এটা সরলো, এদিক দিয়ে বাঁ দিক দিয়ে এক্স ধরলে এবার গ্যাপটার লেন্থ আমি জানি, তো সেটা দিয়ে আমি ক্যালকুলেট করতে পারি, দিয়ে আমি ওই ফোর্সটাকে ইকুয়েট করবো, যেহেতু ইকুইলিব্রিয়াম আছে ফোর্সটা ইকুয়াল হয়ে গেল, তো সেখান দিয়ে আমি এক্স এর ভ্যালুটা পেয়ে গেলাম, তারপর বাকি তো হয়েই যাবে।
ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ অনেকজন ট্রাই করছে জয়েন করে, একটু জয়েন করে দেবেন, অনেকক্ষণ ধরেই বলছে আর কি।
ঠিক আছে, একবার ট্রাই করে দেখো, ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ
ট্রাই করে
ট্রাই করে দেখবো।
তাহলে আমি একটু দেখছি এটা অন্য, মানে এই কোয়েশ্চেনটা, এই প্রবলেমটা আগের বার এরকম একটা ইয়েতে এসেছিল, মানে এরকম একটা কি বলবো ডেডলকে এসেছিল, যে যেহেতু এইটারও মানে অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইউ হ্যাভ টু ক্যালকুলেট দ্য লেন্থ, ফাইনাল লেন্থ অফ দ্য অ্যালুমিনিয়াম, ফাইনাল লেন্থ অফ স্টিল, এন্ড দেন ইউ হ্যাভ টু গো অ্যাবাউট দিস ফর্মুলা। সেটা আমি আগের বার সামহাউ করেও ছিলাম, আই ডিড ইট সামহাউ, বাট ইটস নট ইন মাই নোট অ্যাকচুয়ালি, আই ডিডন্ট কপি দ্যাট ওয়ান এট দ্যাট টাইম। সো আমি একটু, আমাকে টাইম দাও, আমি এটা আজকে পারলে দেখছি, ইফ ইট ক্যান বি ডান, আই উইল বি হেল্পিং ইউ উইথ দিস ওয়ান। Yes, this will be perfectly fine. মানে এখানে ফাইন ইন দ্য সেন্স যে দেখো, সিন্স these terms are very small, ঠিক আছে? ওটা খুব একটা ম্যাটার করবে না ওই এক্সপ্যানশনটা। Let me see, মানে এটা আমি দেখছি, ওটা যদি টোটাল, if I can find out the total expansion of aluminum bar and then do, because if I apply this one also, this will not also hold, because like let's find out this length LAF. So what will be LAF? So this is the thermal expansion minus the gap. So gap is on both sides. How can you find out that one unless you get the compressive force by this one? So you have to write something like, suppose the alpha T. So what is the expansion in the aluminum part? So that is L alpha LA alpha A into delta T. So this is the total expansion, free expansion of the aluminum bar. So now you have to find out its contraction. So you don't have P, you cannot calculate using P, and delta T, you don't know what part of delta T, what proportion of delta T is actually it's compressing on the other side. So you have to go for an approximation actually. So you have to first find out P, and then you have to do the other calculations. In all the three
Sir.
methods, facing some deadlock actually.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir, to find the final length of each bars, so we can use the formula that 0.5 equals to LA alpha A into T minus 20 plus LS alpha S into T minus 20.
P টা you
So
don't
then
know.
we can get the temperature in which the expansion has stopped, and with that T we can get
How
the
can you get the
delta of
temperature
each
where-
bar.
How can you get the temperature where the expansion stops? It's not a solid. There are two different solids. They're not. You cannot find an equilibrium temperature.
No, sir. By in the right hand side we have 0.5, which is already given, and in the left hand side we have only T, which is a
0.5
variable.
total expansion.
এক্সপেনশন নয়, ওটা কম্প্রেশন আছে তার মধ্যে।
দুটো
না না
speed
ও ওটা বলেনি
and contribution
স্যার ও
to-
বলতে চাইছে যে আমরা জাস্ট যদি কনসিডার করি যে থার্মাল এক্সপ্যানশন হচ্ছে তাহলে কোন টেম্পারেচারে গিয়ে পরে 0.5 মিলিমিটার লেন্থটা কভার হয়ে যাবে।
হ্যাঁ সেটা তুমি
Yes,
কি
sir.
করে আমরা কি
আরে 0.5 মিলিমিটার লেনটা তো কভার হচ্ছে না, ওটা তো কম্প্রেশন হয়ে তারপর ব্যাপারটা আসছে মানে
whenever you're
আরে
going
ওটা তো তোর
ওটা-
140 ডিগ্রি সেন্টিগ্রেডে ধর না, তোর 50 ডিগ্রি সেন্টিগ্রেডে এমন হলো যে এটার লেন্থ ধর ডেল্টা বাড়লো, এটা ডেল্টা বাড়লো, ডেল্টা অ্যাড করে 0.5 মিলিমিটার, সেটার কথা বলছি।
আমি আরেকটু ভাবে অন্য
ওই
কোনো
টেম্পারেচারটা বার করার চেষ্টা করছি।
like tried it,
Yes, that's a good method, but the problem is when it's contracted, we don't know which one will push further the other part. When temperature will
আর
rise, we
দুটো
don't
তো
know which one
দুটো
will
তো
push
একইভাবে
further.
এক্সপান্ড করবে না।
and you don't know
হ্যাঁ,
what is the
সেটাই।
force of the contractions between the two. ঠিক আছে? So that will be causing the problem. So let me see. I tried somehow this to eliminate this one. মানে আমি দেখছি if I can
Sir,
I
মানে-
can eliminate this.
স্যার
আচ্ছা
মানে আমরা
আরেকজন
স্যার প্রথমে
কিছু
ডেল্টা
বলো
স্যার
তোমরা
ডেল্টা
একটু ভাবো
টিটা ফার্স্টে।
ভাবো। আচ্ছা আরেকজন একটা কিছু প্রবলেম বলছে।
Yes, sir, this is a good problem.
প্রবলেম হ্যাঁ হ্যালো
স্যার মানে ফার্স্টে কি করছি স্যার ডেল্টা টিটা বার করছি থার্মাল এক্সপানশনের জন্য, তারপরে কম্প্রেশনটা দেখছি, তো এক্সপানশনটা মাইনাস কম্প্রেশনটা ইকুয়াল টু দ্য গ্যাপ, এটাই তো?
হুম
কিন্তু ওটা বোথ সাইডে হবে, দুটো সাইডের জন্য আলাদা আলাদা কম্প্রেশন, আলাদা আলাদা ইলংগেশন।
সেটা তো বোঝা যাচ্ছে, সেটা তো বোঝা
আচ্ছা এই ট্রাইড ইন ইয়ার কপিজ, এটা আমরা নেক্সট ডে আবার ডিসকাস করব। আমাকে একটু বেন্ডিংটা স্টার্ট করতে হবে। আচ্ছা এই আরেকজন কি একটা প্রবলেম বলছিল, ইউ স্টার্ট অল দি প্রবলেম, ইউ মানে কিপ ডুইং অল দি প্রবলেমস, যদি কোনো প্রবলেম থাকে আমরা ডিসকাস করব আবার, ঠিক আছে? বাট আই হ্যাভ টু মুভ ফরওয়ার্ড বিকজ বুঝতেই পারছো টাইম ইজ ভেরি শর্ট, উই হ্যাভ টু গো ফর আদার থিংস অলসো। আচ্ছা প্রবলেম নাম্বার দেন there is certain problems what Timoshenko is also try, because generally other teachers they also refer to Timoshenko. So there is so Timoshenko to dekhbe, there are certain problems, or you can do all the problems, nothing like that. Acha there is another problem of this one. Eta ekটু this try it at your home. Eta amar mone hoy ajke I don't have time, because problem number 229, there is a conical frustum. So you have to find out, and a load of capital P is acting on the frustum on the top. So you have to calculate what is the deflection of the frustum. A similar problem, the solution is given in Timoshenko, where you have an inverted cone in page number 39 note. So you can see that in note page number 39 there is an inverted cone. So on the inverted cone you have to find out what will be its contraction due to its own weight. So you try these two problems. If you are unable to understand, I will be explaining, but for the time being I am giving it as a homework or something that you have to think about. Not that you can do all the problems, or I can do all the problems, not that, but at least we should be able to discuss, or at least we should be able to try all the problems, because as you can understand these books, like they have so many types that it's difficult to solve all the problems, so many concepts and all. So there are two problems which are given in my notes. So the first one is problem number 229. 229. So there is a frustum. You go to the book and check. So there is a frustum sort of thing like this. So there is a frustum sort of thing like this. The base, there is a base. So this radius is given to be B. This radius is given to be small a, and a load of capital P, a compressive load of capital P is acting on this one. This one is the point A, and the height is small h. So just check this problem. Problem number 229, edition 6, Beer and Johnston. All right. So if you go to the problem 229, page number 77 in the book, so you will see that there is a vertical load capital P applied on the member, and all things are given. So you have to find out the deflection of the point A. This is not self weight. This is the deflection of the point A under the applied weight. So if you see the note, I have done this problem, or rather we have done this sort of problem also. So what you do is, just I am suggesting some parts, you can complete this by yourselves. So you just take this one. So you just take, so if you see it in the front view, so you'll be getting a triangular sort of thing like this. So not entire thing, something like this. So you'll be getting something of this sort. This is small b, this one is small a. Achha. So what we do is we take a element. So the element will be having a radius at a distance y. So let this be the point O. So at a distance y from the top, we have taken one element of thickness of ry and thickness dy. So this thickness is dy and the radius at this position is ry. So how to calculate ry? So see, you can get all the things actually. Just how to calculate the deflection. So the deflection in this portion delta in the portion dy. So only this portion. What is the deflection of this portion due to this applied load? So that will be equal to p into dy divided by area of this portion. So that is pi into ry square into capital E. So just if you can write this expression, other things are just geometry and all. So therefore now what will be ry? So how to calculate ry? So if you take this angle as theta, so this is now geometry. So if this is theta, so ry will be equal to y tan theta. So that is p into dy divided by pi into y square tan square theta into capital E. So now as you can see in the note, actually if you go back to the note, you can see that this theta value, tan alpha, tan theta, I have entirely calculated this one. So tan theta is constant and is something dependent on the values of A and B. So see, the thing is given. So eta ki korabo na, you can follow it from the note. And if you are having problem, I will discuss. Dekho.
You can where are sir?
Yes, sir. Let us check for one day, and if any problem comes, we can discuss it next day.
You are supposed to do the problem, not me. But still I do, because I like to do problems. So this one is A to B. So y is varying from which? Y is varying from not A to B. Y is varying from 0 to H. HA to HB. Okay, so you have to also calculate HA and HB, right? So this one you have to take. So you call this distance as HA. So if this is Y, so I am calling this distance as HA and this distance as HB. So it will be integration from HA to HB. Okay, so this is HA to HB and then the integration. So this will be P into dy divided by pi y square tan square theta into E. So this is one problem, very important problem from the book of Beer and Johnstown. And if you go to the book of Timoshenko, if you go to the book of Timoshenko, there is a similar sort of problem. It's given, the solution is given there also. You can refer to that. You can refer to my note also that there is a cone. So just we have done. What will be the elongation of a rod under its own weight? I think we have done. Last day. Hello. What will
Yes,
be
sir,
the
we did that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We have done in the last class.
Yes, sir, we did that.
So just the same problem. There is a cone. You have to find out what will be the elongation of this cone under its own weight. So what will be the elongation of this cone under its own weight?
Sir, problem number? Problem number ta koto?
Is in Timoshenko. I have to find out. দেখো আমি টিমোশেঙ্কোর এটা দিইনি, বইটা দিয়েছি তো, I have given the book. So it suggested the Timoshenko অঙ্কগুলোস if you find these problems very easy in Beer Johnstown, you also go to Timoshenko and do the problems. ঠিক আছে? আমাকে একটু খুঁজতে হবে, হ্যাঁ, মানে ওই বই খুলে খোঁজা, but it's given somewhere. লিখে নাও, write down the problem. What will be the deflection of a conical of a cone under its own weight? What will be the deflection of a cone under its own weight? So this is this one is given in Timoshenko. আমি দেখছি, I have opened the book of Timoshenko. You refer to my note. So just the same thing you have to do. You have to take one cross section. You take a cross section. So from the bottom they have taken. So y, this is dy. So I have taken one cross section dy. So if I draw this thing as a triangle, so I'm using a triangle consider kori. So if I consider it to be a triangle, so I have to find out this radius. So the radius is ry. The top radius is given. So the top radius is given to be r. So this distance is y, and the entire height of the cone is h. So the height of the cone is small h. Okay, so what will be r? So ry divided by r, that is equal to y by h. So ry will be equal to y into r by h. Okay, so এবার করতে পারবে, দেখো, it is given in the note. You have the note with you?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So just refer to page number 39. देखो 39. 39. So Timoshenko, if someone is having the book of Timoshenko, the page number is 30. Page number 30, 30. Go to page number 30, 30. Just there are certain different notations. Gamma in place of density, they have given it gamma. So gamma is the weight per unit volume. Nothing different. Just we have taken density rho. So in the node, if you go back, so in the node, so you have to take W. So initially you have to find out the load acting. So the load will be equal to W. So that will be density into volume. So rho g into volume. So rho g into volume means, so what is the volume of this portion? So the volume of this portion will be rho g into 1/3 pi square h. So 1/3 into pi ry square into h is y. So just you put the value of ry. So rho g into 1/3 pi into ry is y square r square by h square into y. So it is something y cube. So the final expression is, just check, pi r square divided by 3h square rho g into y cube. And then this is the load you got. And now you apply the, so what will be the deflection in the portion dy? So the deflection in the portion dy, so if I call it delta, so delta in the portion dy will be equal to w into dy divided by a e. So that will be equal to w is this one. So everything, let's call it k. So k into y cube into dy. So it again I'm calling it as ky cube. Everything is constant. And r is also constant. R is the entire radius. Divided by a is the area of this portion is pi into ry square into capital E. So this is, you have a ry, you can put it. So ry is equal to y into r by h. So this is ky cube dy divided by pi into y square r square h square e. So এটা কত হবে দেখো, k into h square by pi r square e into y dy. So now you can integrate. So once you integrate, you will be getting the value of delta. So it's given in the note, page number 39. So the answer that will come out is rho g h square divided by 6e. Rho g h square divided by 6e. ঠিক আছে? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
এটা try করো বাড়িতে, try it at your home. Then you go to Timoshenko. I have given more 2 problems. Timoshenko, page number 38. Timoshenko, book of Timoshenko, page number 38, and problems number 10 and 11. So you see there are 2 bars and there are certain cross sections, and you have to find out. Yeah, you do this problem because for this you can check the answers. But Timoshenko, they don't have answers. So that is why Timoshenko problem, I may be wrong. So if I am wrong, you have to correct me. So Timoshenko problem, there is a bar sort of thing. So you try these problems at your home, because unless you try them, you won't learn. So দেখো এটাও ক্লাসরুমে পোস্ট করা আছে. This is something that is posted in the classroom, and the answer is also given, I think. So there are 2 loads here and here. So the loads are P1 and P2. The loads are P1 and P2. The reaction forces at these points are R and R1. And what are the lengths? The lengths are A, B, and C. So this length is A, this length is B, and this length is C. Okay, and the entire length is L. So you have to find out. So you have gone to Timoshenko. Timoshenko the gacho. You go to page number 39 in Timoshenko Yong. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Page number 39 এ যাও, Timoshenko Yong. 10 number problem. So how to do this problem? Any suggestions? So here you have to find out. So problem number 10 is determine the reactions R1 and R2. You have to find out the reactions R1 and R2. What is given is A is equal to 0.3 L, B is equal to 0.3 L, P1 and P2 are given to be 2P2 is equal to 1000 pounds. So you have to find out R1 and you have to find out the R. So you have to calculate the reactions. So এটা কি করে করব? হ্যালো, কিছু ট্রাই
স্যার এ
করো
আর
না
বিটা
তোমরা
কত
বাড়ি।
কত বললেন?
হ্যাঁ, A আর B টা A
ভ্যালুটা একটু
A is 0.3 L, B is 0.3 L. P1 is equal to 2 P2, that is equal to 1000 pounds. Now you have to calculate the values of R and R1. It is fixed at both the ends. Timoshenko, problem number 10, page number 39. Just 2 problems you have to try. Timoshenko, you don't need to do many problems. What I tell you, that only you have to do. Solve করার দরকার নেই. Many problems are there. You will be confused. কি করে করব এটা? হ্যালো,
স্যার প্রতিটা পার্টকে আলাদা আলাদা করে যদি আমি
তো এটা কি একটাই বার পুরো?
হ্যাঁ এটা একটাই bar. This is the entire one bar, but since there are loadings are changing, so that is why it has been divided into 3 parts. So on the first part, a downward load of P1 is acting. On the second part, a downward load of P2 is acting. ঠিক আছে? So এটা কি করে করব?
স্যার ওই
Which
সেকশন
method?
মেথড ইউজ করতে হবে,
হ্যাঁ
ওই সেকশন মেথড।
হ্যাঁ সেকশন মেথড ইউজ করবে তো, সেটাই তো জানতে চাইছি। So use the section method. If you feel I can also help you. এখন
ভাগ করে নিয়ে শুধু কাট করা ছিল বারটাকে অন্যদিকে, মানে পারপেন্ডিকুলার ছিল না, মানে প্লেনের মধ্যে এমনি ছিল নরমাল, এরকম সেমি তো একটা প্রবলেম ছিল আমরা করেছিলাম।
হ্যাঁ তো এটা করতে পারবে
হ্যাঁ
কি
স্যার,
সেটা
এটা
জিজ্ঞেস করছি না, আমি করি।
হ্যাঁ স্যার এটা
হয়ে
হয়ে
যাবে
যাবে
স্যার,
স্যার।
সেকশন মেথডে একটা জিনিস স্যার ভিজুয়ালাইজ করতে প্রবলেম হচ্ছে
কি ভিজুয়ালাইজ করতে বলো?
স্যার। ওই ফোর্স গুলো মানে সেকশন গুলো যখন নেওয়া হয় তখন তো যে কোনো একটা পোর্শনের ঠিক মাঝ থেকে নেওয়া হয় ফোর্স গুলো, তো মানে সেকশনটা কাটা হয় তো
Mass থেকে we don't take it from the middle. Like what we take is, so he is having a confusion like why do we take the forces on these points? মানে এইখানে why do we take it at any point? So the thing is, if you consider these points, so if you consider, suppose let us call these points as AB and CD. So for the portion AB, so I am having a portion AB. So there is something like, so there is a force R, reaction force R, and there is a load of P1. So once you see that if I take a section somewhere here, and if I take a section somewhere here, XX1, so XX1 and XXX, both will be having the same loading pattern, because between these two forces there has been no changes in the loading. So that is why X1 and XX, they will be having the same loading pattern. So that is why what we do is we take a cross section in between AB. In between AB I can take anywhere, like anywhere, not the point B, just any point above, any point before B. So that is why we take a cross section somewhere here. So now if I draw the free body diagram of this portion, so I will be having something like this. So this was R, and this will be, let's call it, কি বলেছেন আমি এটা জানি, এটা আমি বটম থেকে ধরেছি, যাক ঠিক আছে বটম থেকেই নিই, একই তাহলে আমার আনসারটা একই আসবে, বা টপ থেকেও ধরতে পারো, ঠিক আছে ছেড়ে দাও। So let this be N1 and let this be R, ঠিক আছে? So next is,
স্যার একটা বলবো,
হ্যাঁ বলো এখানে কি কনফিউশন আছে বলো।
কনফিউশন না, মানে ওই তিনটে পার্টকে ভেঙে নিলাম, এবার উপরের যে সেটটা পেলাম যেখানে P1টা অ্যাক্ট করছে, তো ওই সেটটার জন্য দুদিকেই ফোর্স আমার ওই উপরের রিয়াকশন ফোর্সটা হবে, কারণ কি ওটা ইকুইলিব্রিয়ামে আছে। আর নিচের পার্টটার জন্য দুদিকে ফোর্স আমার R2 হবে, যেটা মানে নিচের যে রিয়াকশন সেটা হয়ে গেল।
No, when you are considering this part, you only consider the equilibrium of this portion. Only this portion I have drawn. You forget the all other parts, because this portion individually should be in equilibrium if the system has to be in equilibrium. If the entire system is in equilibrium, this portion will also be in equilibrium. So if I write N1, so N1 will be equal to R. Now when I cross this point when I cross this point B, I have crossed the point B. So the effect of the force, the effect of the other force will come into effect. So I will be having P1 here, I will be having R here, and I will be having N2. I don't know the value of N2, so I will be having N2 here. Now you change the cross section to this point. Now you draw the free body diagram for the upper part. Upper part, lower part, anyone you draw, you will be getting the same answer. So you are left with force here. At the point B, you are having a load of P1. The point C has come into your picture. So you will be having P2 and let N3 be the force. So now you just find out. So you just write the expressions. So N1 will be equal to R, N2 will be equal to R minus P1, and N3 will be equal to R minus P1 minus P2. Now you find out delta. So the entire delta will be equal to delta AB plus delta BC plus delta CD. So what is the deformation in the AB? So that will be equal to N1 L1, N1 into A divided by AE plus N2 into B divided by AE plus N3 into C divided by AE. So AE is common here. So just you put the values, everything will be known to you. Delta will be equal to 0. Why? Because it's fixed at both the ends. So 0 will be equal to 1 by AE. So AE will also cancel out. So you'll be left with something like N1 will be equal to R by RA plus R minus P1 into B plus N3 is R minus P1 minus P2 into C. So now you know everything actually. So just you can calculate the value of R.
স্যার এইখানে একটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছিল স্যার, ওই ডেল্টা এবি যেখানটায় ওখান মানে যখন সেকশনটা নেওয়া হচ্ছে তখন N1 ফোর্সটা হচ্ছে মাঝখান থেকে ধরা হচ্ছে, কিন্তু যখন
মানে N1 is not N1 N1 is a variable force. N1 I take the cross section not here. I take the cross section just before B. I take the cross section here. Then only there also N1 will be equal to R because there is no change in the loading pattern. So N1 will be equal to R on this entire length, not that it's only for this portion. This is from this portion to this portion, N1 will be equal to P. On all the portions, a load of N1 is acting just before the point up to B. So
Okay,
if you
sir.
take N1, it is actually giving you the entire deflection of the point AB, not the deflection of the part AX. It's actually giving the total deflection of AB. Why? Because there has been no change in the loading pattern. So if you start from the point A, you come down just before the point B, just the force entire on this entire portion is only N1, nothing else. You draw the section somewhere here, somewhere different. You draw the section here also, it will again be N1. Because there is no change in the loading. You take a section here, you just draw this part. So in that case also N1 will be equal to R. You don't draw it here, you draw it here. In that case also it will be N1 just before the point B. It will be N1 is equal to R only. So actually when you are considering N1, it is the entire force acting on the portion AB. So that is why when you write this expression, you are getting the entire deflection of the rod AB, not the deflection of the part AX.
Yes.
Clear? Because there is no change in the loading from the point A to B. So from the point A to B, the entire system will be under the effect of same force N1. Now when you cross the point B, then N1 changes to N2, not before that. বোঝা গেছে? Understood?
Yes sir.
এটাই কনফিউশন ছিল. This was your confusion, I feel.
Yes sir, এটাই কনফিউশন ছিল।
So AB, so N1 is not for the part AX. It is on the entire part from A to B. You take the cross section anywhere between A to B. Since there is no change in the loading pattern, the entire force on the entire length AB is N1. Just before the point B. Once you cross the point B, again this N1 changes to N2. Not before that. So on the entire part AB, just before the point B, the entire force is N1. After that, it is N2. So you move from B to C, this is N2. No change. Again, when you cross the point C, the force N2 changes to N3. So from the point C to D, you move, you are only left with N3. The entire force on CD is N3. You take the cross section anywhere between C and D. You will be getting the A to be N3, nothing else. Okay, so I hope that's it. Too much of discussions on this A. So let's start the next chapter, bending. Okay, so what is bending? So I hope you have got the notes on bending. So bending is the theory generally I don't write in the copy actually, because theory I feel it's better to be discussed on the board. So what is bending is like, so if you go to book actually, so because this drawing these things is actually somewhat difficult. So you go to the book, page number 222. So they have shown a beam sort of thing. So suppose you are having a beam like this of rectangular cross section. So a beam, this has been fixed at this end. Okay, but it's not fixed since we are studying here. So what happens is it has been bent. It has been bent with a couple. Okay, so it has been bent with couples, opposite couples M and M. So as you can see, the beam will bend and it will take the shape of a circular thing, right? So suppose you take your belt, the leather belt actually. So if you bend the leather belt, what happens is on the top side, if you see the fibers on the top side, what happens is they tend to sag. So you can understand that on the top side you are always having. So suppose this is a leather belt. So you can just do this experiment. So suppose you are having a leather belt. What you do is you try to bend it or give it a circular shape. So what happens is it will try to take the shape of something like this, a circular shape or the part of a circle. So if you see the fibers on the top side. So if you check after bending the belt, so if you check the fibers on the top side, what happens is these fibers tend to sag. They tend to come together. Okay? And if you see the fibers on this side, they tear apart. So that is why you can understand that the fibers on the top side, they are under compression. So this portion is actually trying to compress. So this is under compression. And the other side, they will be under tension. So you can understand that the lower side, it is actually trying to increase from its original length. So if you take the original length, it is something like say L0. So if I consider this one, so this won't be L0, it has increased, it has tried to increase something. And if you consider the top side, so if I tell it as L0, and the top side I call it as say L top, and the bottom side I call it as L bottom. So which one will be, so what will be the relation? So the relation will be something like, so LB has increased from L0 and LT has decreased from L0. I hope you can understand. So that is what is plane bending. So you take one structure, you just bend it. You just, how to bend it? You apply two opposing couples on the shape. So once you apply two opposing shapes, the lower fibers, so just consider a belt. So the lower fibers, see, they are trying to expand actually. So they are not of the length L0, they are of certain length L0 plus delta. And on the top side, if you consider, they are always in compression. So they will be, so that LT will be somewhat less than L0. We'll be coming to the derivations and all. So বুঝতে পারছো, this is just a basic thing. How is bending? What is bending? So bending is something where you apply a opposite couple, and what happens is the fibers on the top of the beam or the top of the belt or anything that you are trying to bend, they will be under compression and they will try to sag. And the bottom side, since they will be in tension, they will try to tear apart. So they will be under tension. So whenever you are bending something,
Sir, LT less than L0 less than LB होगा ना? Sir, LT less than L0 less than
Yes, sir,
LB
the relation at the bottom must be oppositely.
বুঝতে পারছি না, আবার বলো।
স্যার বলছিলাম যে LT less than L0 less than LB হবে না? আপনি তো LB less than L0 less than LT লিখেছেন।
হ্যাঁ, LB টা, আচ্ছা LB টা গ্রেটার হবে না, আমি উত্তর লিখেছি। So ধরো এইভাবে, so suppose I am having a beam like this, what happens is I am bending this one. So এটা certain একটা length হবে, let's suppose that this is L0. Now what happens is I am bending this one. So let there be an axis of this one. So suppose I am bending it. So when I bend it, it will take the shape of it will take a circular shape, something short of this. Right? So এটাকে যদি if I connect it to a arbitrary center, the center of curvature. So let's draw with the center of curvature. So you can understand that the lower portions, so the lower portions is under tension. So this lower portion, the length will be LF, and the top portion, the length will be LT. So I hope you can understand that LT is always less than L0 and LF is always greater than L0. So actually you can understand that the LF, the lower fibers, length of L bottom. So I hope you can understand that when you are moving from the bottom layers to the top layers, the length is actually changing. a point will come when you are moving along the thickness of the beam. A point will come where the length will be equal to the original length. Or let me put it differently. The bottom side, I told it that it is in tension. The bottom side is in tension, and the upper side, I told you that it is in compression. So now you start moving along the thickness of the beam. So once you start moving along the thickness of the beam, you are actually going from tension to compression side. So a time will come when the stress, when the deflection is actually zero, or the strain is actually zero. So that layer, we call it as the neutral axis of the beam. So neutral axis is a layer of the beam where there is no changes in the length of the beam, or which is undergoing no deflection, no tension, no compression, no deflection, no strain. So that layer, we call it as the neutral layer of the beam. Let me first explain these things very simply. It's written in very much vast details in B.R. Johnston. You read it in your book after the class. But I'm trying to put it in a very short way so that you can understand the concepts, and then you can go on reading the books. So the bottom side is, there is an elongation, top side there is an compression. So you move from here to here. So a point will come where there is no change in the length. The length is actually L0. Right though? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can understand that there is something like sigma T here, there is sigma C here, and if you move, a point will come, a layer will come which is having no stresses, or it has no deflection on its part. Okay. So this is about the bending, pure bending. So there is a term called pure bending. So what is pure bending? You just write down, but you won't be able to understand unless I have completed the shear stresses or shear forces and all. Pure bending টা আমি এখন আর বলছি না, because pure bending টা we will be discussing in more details when আমরা কারণ এখন তো আমরা যেহেতু we don't know how to draw bending moment diagrams and all these things, so the pure bending টা I'm not going in that detail. So এইগুলো একটু তোমরা পড়বে। আচ্ছা, so next you come to figure number 4.10 in page number 227. Now, just write down what is pure bending. So bending is also called flexure. Bending is also called flexure, F-L-E-X-U-R-E, flexure. Just pure bending, you write down flexure of a beam under a constant bending moment in the absence of any shear forces. Pure bending, just you write down the flexure of a beam under a constant bending moment. The flexure means bending itself. Flexure of a beam under a constant bending moment in the absence of any shear forces. So when there is no shear forces, only bending, you will be having pure bending, and when there is no bending, only shear forces, you will be having pure torsion. Just the different thing. ঠিক আছে? So আমরা actually when we are completed with torsion, shear forces and all, then we can define what is pure bending in a better way. So এখন for the time being, just you write down that when there is only bending and no shear forces, only there are bending forces. Tensile, compressive. So you can understand only it is either tensile or compressive. So tensile and compressive, they are longitudinal forces, and there are no effect of the shear forces. So that in that case, you will be having the pure bending. So pure bending is you write down the flexure of a beam under a constant bending moment is under a constant bending moment and no shear forces. And the other thing is called non-uniform bending. So non-uniform bending, you just write down the flexure in the presence of shear forces, the flexure in the presence of bending in the presence of shear forces, bending in the presence of shear forces, where the bending moment changes along the axis of the beam, where the bending moment changes along the axis of the beam, where the bending moment actually acts along the axis of the beam. Achha. So coming back to what I was discussing. Achha. So So let's discuss forces. So forces can be of two types. One are the transverse forces and other one are the, so transverse forces, they can be of two types. One is the tensile forces and another one is the compressive forces. Okay, and the other part is shear forces. So what is the difference between the tensile transverse forces and shear forces? So suppose I am having a bar sort of thing like this. Okay? So what I do is I apply a tensile load. So how is the load acting? What is the cross section on which it is acting? So this is the cross section on which the load is acting. So as you can see, the load is perpendicular to the cross section on which it is acting. So this sort of loading, we call it as the transverse loading or transverse forces. So it will result in only either tensile forces. If the load is tensile, you will be having tensile forces. If the load is compressive, you will be having compressive forces, compressive stresses. And the same thing, if I load it something like this, suppose the load is acting somewhere around here. Say a load is acting somewhere around here. So what will happen is, so the beam will shear. How? So the beam has been broken into two parts. The bar has been broken into two parts, such that, or you apply a cutting force here. So suppose ধরো কি বলবো বা এরকম ভাবে ধরো so if this is the cross section on which it is acting, so you are having a force like this. So you can see that the force is acting parallel to the cross section. So এইটা কি? This will result in shear forces or shear stresses. বোঝা গেল? So whenever the load is parallel to the cross section on which it is acting, we get shear forces. And whenever the load is perpendicular to the cross section on which it is acting, we get transverse forces, which can be either tensile or compressive. So in the case of bending, what I had discussed is either I am having tension, or I am having compression. In no case I will be having any the effects of shear forces. So whenever the effects of shear forces are absent and only bending is present, that is known as pure bending. So whenever the effects of these shear forces are absent or no forces are acting parallel to the cross section of the beam, I am having pure bending. So in pure bending, you are having only bending moment or only bending, no shear forces. But when shear forces come into effect, then that will become non-uniform bending. So in this chapter, we are actually studying pure bending, where we don't take into account the effects of any shear forces. But there is no torque, no torsion, no torque. মানে কোনো shearing effect এখানে কিন্তু নেই. There are no shearing effects acting on the beam. Only the beam is being purely bent. Only tensile and compressive stresses are getting set up in bending. So that is why we will be studying pure bending. So this chapter is actually pure bending chapter. Next, we will be studying torsion, where we will be studying the effects of torsion, torques, and the shear forces, shear stresses, and all those things. So when these two combine, then we get bending moment as well as shear forces. When they combine, we get non-uniform bending. In this chapter, we are only studying the effects of bending, where there are no transverse forces, nothing, no transverse forces, no torsion, these sort of things. Only the structure is being bent using a couple or a moment. বোঝা গেছে? So whenever we are studying pure bending, so you can see that the chapter is all about pure bending. The topic of the chapter is pure bending. So what is pure bending? Pure bending is only under the effects of transverse forces, tensile and compressive. Either tensile, compressive, or just pure bending. Whenever I am bending it, I can understand that the top layers will be in compression and the bottom layers will be in tension. So it is bending is actually combination of tensile and compressive stresses, but no shear stresses are present. So that is why whatever we will be studying in this chapter, that is pure bending. No part of shear forces or shear stresses will be discussed here. বোঝা গেল? So this is one thing. Hello?
Yes, sir.
বোঝা যাচ্ছে।
So যখনই এই shear force আমরা এখনই পড়বো না। এই shear force when we will be studying when we move to the chapter of torsion. ঠিক আছে? এটা এখন আমরা পড়ছি না। So since these shear forces are absent, we are actually studying pure bending. When shear forces will come into play, we will be going to the chapters of your non-uniform bending, which is not inside your syllabus. So you go to page number, you can understand the board is small, so derivations will be a bit difficult. So you can see you go to page number 227, PDF number. So you can see that the beam is bent. Figure number is 4.10. So you can see the beam has been bent and it takes the shape of a circular shape. So let's draw it at the bottom because I won't be reading the top part. So a beam has been bent. So initially it was something horizontal, now it has been bent. So see, they have drawn the neutral axis. Let us assume, we don't know where the neutral axis will lie, but let us assume that there is a neutral
স্যার
axis.
পাতাটা আরেকবার বলবেন স্যার পিডিএফ এর?
হ্যাঁ বলছি।
252.
আমি top part I draw it exaggerated because I have to take one cross section on the top part. So this is a beam which has been bent and it takes the shape of a circle. The top layer of the beam or the top fibers of the beam are AB and the bottom fibers of the beam are A prime, B prime. Okay. The neutral axis of the beam that has been assumed to be DE. So let's assume that DE is the neutral axis of the beam. So since DE is something where the length doesn't change. So that is why at DE I can, so see they have put the radius rho at the point DE. So if this is the center of curvature, so if I extend this 2, I will be getting a point O. So this O is actually the center of curvature. So now I want to measure the radius of curvature. So I have to come to which point? I have to come up to the neutral axis. So rho is the distance from the point or the center of curvature to the neutral axis. Why? Because neutral axis is the point where the length hasn't changed. So up to the neutral axis, see they have drawn the radius rho of the or the curvature radius of the bent beam. Let theta be the angle of bending and you can understand the other things. So what we do is, for our analysis, we assume a fiber or layer at a distance y from the neutral axis. So now you can understand that the neutral axis is what? Neutral axis is actually the reference layer. The axis, I mean a layer where we can consider all our axes, because neutral axis is somewhere where you can say there is neither tension nor compression or there is no change of length of the beam. So neutral axis, always when you are doing problems on beams, always the axis has to be considered at the neutral axis, because neutral axis is one thing which is always neutral. It doesn't change in length, it has no strains, it has no stresses and all. So see the radius has been drawn on the neutral axis. Okay, so we have taken a cross section at a distance y from the neutral axis. You can see the cross section has been named as JA. Okay, and the axis system, so they have taken one axis system. So the axis system has been taken aligned to this one. So this one is the x-axis and this one is the y-axis. Okay, so you can understand that when you actually a beam, it's a 3D object. So I am looking at this beam from the front side. Right? So you are looking from the camera, you are looking at the beam from the front side. So you are actually looking it in the XY plane. And whenever we do problems on beam, it's a general procedure. It's a general procedure. Suppose I am having a beam. So when you look at a beam from your end, you will be seeing something like this. You have started drawing. Let's draw it somewhere around here. So let this be the beam. Let it be fixed. Let it be a cantilevered beam. So this cantilevered beam, if you see from your end, it's a beam. So generally what we do is the length of the beam. Always the length of the beam, we have to take it as the x-axis. This is a general procedure. Whenever you are considering the beam, always take the length of the beam along the x-axis. It's a general procedure. Even when we do research and all, we always take the axis of the beam to be the transverse axis of the beam, the length axis of the beam to be the x-axis. It's a general procedure. And the lateral cross section. So if you see it from this side, you will be able to see the cross section of the beam. It can be a circular beam, it can be a trapezoidal beam, it can be anything. So now if you see, this is y and this is z axis of the beam. So from this side, actually, you are seeing y and you are seeing x and y. So the origin of coordinates I take. So the length of the beam is always taken as the x-axis, and on the lateral direct dimensions, actually, you can see what is the cross sections of the beam. So you have seen like automobile chassis. You have seen chassis. You understand what is the chassis of an automobile? Car chassis.
Yes,
Body. Take the entire structure of the body, anything. So what is the shape of the chassis? So they are of the shape like this. Right now, you can relate. Hello. So they are
Yes,
actually
sir.
beams as load of the. So this is the chassis of an automobile. So on the entire chassis of the automobile, the entire weight of the structure, weight of the say automobile or the lorry actually that sits on the chassis of the automobile. So in order for the chassis to be strong, you have to consider what is the bending strength of this. What is the bending strength of this chassis? So once you go to that, you have to consider which cross section has the highest ability to resist bending. Is it a rectangular cross section? Is it a circular cross section? Is it a trapezoidal cross section? Is it a half I cross section? Is it a S sort of cross section or what? So that has to be done on research. যেটা আমরা today we will be studying, মানে যেটা আমরা আস্তে আস্তে পড়বো যে so that is being defined by the section modulus of a beam. ঠিক আছে? So every beam has a certain section modulus যেটা আমরা আস্তে আস্তে আসছি. So that is why I told you where you find beams. You find beams everywhere. At your home, even if you're sitting at your home, you see that whenever we make our homes, we take the structure. First thing is we fix columns. So whenever you're having a vertical member, that is a column. And on the columns, the beams are placed. On two columns, one beam is placed. So the entire load of the thing actually is coming on the beam. So the beam is actually bending, but the column is actually not bending. It's under compression. In your home, if you see, so you are having columns like this. So column is a vertical structure. And again, you are having a column like this. So it's again a vertical structure placed at a certain distance. And on these two columns, a beam is placed of a certain cross section, right? So what sort of load is coming on this? So on the beam, you are always having a compressive load because on the beam, actually, the entire weight of the body or the entire load of the structure is resting. So that is why this beam will always be under bending. It will bend somehow like this. So you have to consider always the bending strength of the beam. And if you go to the column is also included in our syllabus. So if you go to the columns, how is the column behaving? So the column will also bend, but it may also buckle. So the column, so it's also carrying a compressive load. So if I draw the column from the front end, so I will be seeing this is the load acting on the column. So it is also under compression. So either it will compress, so it will also try to bend like this. So it can also have bending. So this sort of transverse bending we will be discussing. So this is known as buckling. We will be discussing in the columns. And when we go for beams, actually, we will be seeing that the thing is in. So this was the beam. So beam is a horizontal member. And when you consider the column, this column is a vertical member. Am I correct or wrong? So beam is first thing is it's a horizontal member, generally. And a column is your vertical member. And there can be inclined members also. The inclined member we call them struts, which is generally studied in civil applications and all. ঠিক আছে মানে কলামটা যদি বেন্ডেড হয় মানে if it's bent, it's in the bent position, it's in an angular positions and all, we go for struts and all. But column is generally vertical, it's always vertical, and it's supposed to take a compressive load. So see, it's always taking a compressive load. And coming back to beams, it is always under bending. Why? Because the load is acting here. So it will always try to bend. It has certain support. So it will always try to bend. It will always try to take a structure like this. So that is why whenever you are studying beams, so what is the difference between beams and columns? Beam is a horizontal member and column is a vertical member. Number one. Number two is beam is always under bending and columns, they may buckle, they may they will be under buckling. ঠিক আছে? Okay, let's come back to beams. যেটা আমি বলছিলাম বলতে বলতে অনেক দূরে চলে গেলাম. So that is why, so you see in a beam you will be having x and y axis along the length direction, and if you see it from this side you will be having y and z axis. The y and z axis actually shows us what is the cross section of the beam. So see, if you go to the book, actually page number 227, you will be seeing that the cross section of the beam that they have taken is trapezoidal, right? And they have denoted the neutral axis. So neutral axis is somewhere like passing through the point O. So this beam actually I am seeing it from the front side. I am getting the length of the beam, and if I see it from this side or this side, I will be getting the side view. I will be getting the cross section of the beam where I can get y and z. Okay, so whenever I am doing bending analysis, I have to look at the front side, and whenever I am trying to find out the strength of the beam, I have to go for the side. What is the cross sectional area of the beam? Because I can understand that the more cross section it is having, the more its ability to resist bending. Acha. So where I was, I have already deleted this portion. I should have. So ebar dekho now. So come to page number 228. So as you can see, the initial length. So the initial length, so D, the undistorted length. So DE. Okay. So as you can see, so you are always following the book, I think, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
So in the book, you go to the next page, page number 228. So you see DE. So DE is a point lying on the neutral axis. So what we have discussed about the neutral axis is somewhere where there is no change in length. So that is why I can write down. So DE will be equal to L into theta. Since theta is very small, generally in bending, it is bending, right? But a beam doesn't bend so much that the theta may be very high. So the theta may be of the order of say 2 or 3 degrees like. Okay? So that is why always we can consider that to be R theta. So the beam bent like this. So you had a beam like this. You applied a bending moment sort of thing like this. So you get a structure like this. So this is the bent structure of the beam. So if this was O, this was rho, and so the length of the beam, the undistorted length L0, that should be equal to rho into theta. So this is theta. So DE will be equal to R. DE is equal to L theta. So this is the actual length or the undistorted length of the beam. So since DE lies on the neutral axis, we can say that L0 actually represents the undistorted length of the beam. The beam when it was not distorted, that length is given by, sorry, L theta, rho theta. Rho theta. Clear up to this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Now, what we
Yes,
do
sir.
is, we consider a layer JK, which is at a distance Y from on the top side of the beam. We are taking it on the top side. We could have taken it on the bottom side also. Why on the top side? I will be coming to that one. Once I discuss positive and negative bending moments. So moments, you can understand that moments, they can be, we generally take them as positive or negative. So what is the convention we will be following to take them positive, to make them positive or negative? So theta, that will be coming afterwards. So let's first discuss that we consider a point Y which is on the top side of the beam, at a layer JK. So we consider a layer JK on the compression side of the beam. On the compression side of the beam. Okay? And since it is on the compression side of the beam, moment will be equal to positive. I am just writing it to be sagging moment. I asked you, what is the sagging moment? What is the hogging moment? I will discuss. Just remember that JK, I am taking a point on the compression side of the beam. If I had taken a point on the below side, so the Y will become negative. Shall I discuss kore dobo? Okay? So if I consider the layer JK, so what will be the length of the layer JK? So the length of the layer JK, that should be equal to what? So the radius at this point. So what is the radius up to JK? So I have so let O be the point somewhere around here. So I can draw a zigzag line. So what is this length? This is rho minus Y. So rho was the length up to the neutral axis, and I have come out a distance of Y. So the rho minus Y is the distance of the layer JK from the radius of from the center of curvature. So the length of JK, so that should be equal to your rho minus Y into theta. Theta remains same. You refer to the book actually. So the length of so they are calling it as L prime. Okay? So what will be the deformation? So what is the deformation being caused in that fiber of the beam? So that deformation we are referring it to as delta. So the deformation caused delta. So that should be equal to, so let's call it as L prime, not JK, let's call it as L prime. L prime is the deflection that is being caused on a layer JK that is on the compression side of the beam, not on the tension side. So delta, that should be equal to L minus L prime. So what is L minus L prime? Rho theta minus rho minus Y into theta. So you'll be getting, you have a category, it should be minus Y theta. So delta at any layer is actually minus of Y into theta. Okay? So what will be the strain developed? So what will be the strain? Remember, it is the longitudinal strain, not the transverse strain. So strain is being, this is the strain, let's call it epsilon L. Or they had called it, they had written it like epsilon X. So X is the length direction of the beam, because I discussed that always the X direction is along the length of the beam. So epsilon X, or the longitudinal strain, this is along the length side of the strain, length side of the beam. So strain along the length of the beam. So strain along the length of the beam. So I am calling it as epsilon X or epsilon L, what you like. That is equal to delta by L, that is equal to minus Y by L into theta. Correct? Now what is L? So L is rho theta. So the space ta khub short to samosya. So this is minus y theta divided by rho theta. So you are left with minus y by rho. Correct? So you can see that epsilon x. So now if I write the expression for epsilon x, that is equal to minus y by rho. So you can see that epsilon x. So this longitudinal strain. So this longitudinal strain. So as you can see, the strain is directly proportional to y. So as you go on moving, so when y is 0, the strain is 0. So y is equal to 0 represents which point?
Neutral axis.
Very good.
Neutral
So
line.
at 0, you will be having strain is equal to 0. So that represents the neutral axis of the beam. So neutral axis is a point where the strain is 0. Number 1. Number 2 is y ta kokhon maximum hobe, where when y will be maximum either on the upper side or on the down side, and either on the upper fiber or on the lower fiber. So you can understand that the strain on the upper side will be maximum and the strain on the lower side will be minimum. So I can say that since the load is minus, that it has come out to be negative because it is compression. So, so this is first, and the second one is at y is equal to say h by 2, the top layer, you will be having epsilon x is equal to something like maximum. So epsilon x is equal to maximum compression because it's negative on the top side, and at y is equal to minus h by 2, you will be having epsilon x is equal to minimum tension. Maximum tension. Both are maximum, but either it is tension or it is compression. Take it? So on the top side, you are having the maximum compression. On the bottom side, you are having the maximum tension. And on the neutral axis, it is 0. So if I draw a pattern like this, so if I want to draw a pattern of the variation of the stresses, so what I should be having is like, this is the length of the beam. This is the neutral axis. So on the top side, you are actually having compression. So I am drawing it as compression. Reverse arrows. So these are compression. So as you can see, the compressive forces are maximum at the top fiber of the beam. So on the top fiber, they are carrying the maximum compressive stress. And as I am coming to the lower fiber, they are also maximum, but they are tensile in nature. Tensile মানে এইদিকে যাবে। So this is the variation of the forces. So this is sigma C max and this is sigma T max. So this is sigma T max. And this is the point where sigma is equal to 0. So that this axis is the NA or the neutral axis. Correct? Clear?
h by 2 টা ওখানে কি ধরে যান স্যার ডায়াগ্রামটা বুঝতে পেরেছি h by 2 টা মানে h তো কি
ওই টুকু আমি লেন্থটা ধরে দিই থিকনেস ধরো এখানে ধরো থিকনেস যদি হয় এটা h by 2 হবে এটা
ও ঠিক আছে
তাই না z is equal to plus h by 2 তে sigma x will be equal to sigma c max. Sigma c is going on increasing. Therefore it is sigma c, it is compression on the beam, it is on the compression, it is acting compressive on the beam. The loads, they are actually compressive on the beam. And for this one, they are actually tensile on the beam. On the bottom side, the beam is in tension, and on the upper side, the beam is in compression. The upper fibers of the beam above the neutral axis, they are in compression. The lower fibers of the beam, they are in tension. So this will be at h is equal to at the top layer. When h by y is equal to means the top layer, top fiber. You will be having sigma c, epsilon c max. The sigma দিয়েও বলতে পারো, যাই হোক আমি epsilon max বলছি, epsilon c max. And at this one, when the bottom fiber, you will be having epsilon T max. Okay, so this is the maximum value of the tensile force. It goes on decreasing. Therefore, it's tapering off. So it goes on decreasing. A point will come where there are no forces. Tensile force becomes 0. There are no forces. Sigma is equal to 0 means you have reached the neutral axis. Then, as you move to the upper side, what happens is the compressive forces come into being. So actually, the compressive forces start increasing, and at the top fiber of the beam, the compressive stresses are maximum. So that is why I gave you the example of a belt. So if you bend your belt, actually, you can always see that the top fibers actually, they sag and the bottom fibers, they tear off because bottom part is always in tension, and the upper part is always in compression in bending. So bending is actually a combination of tensile and compressive stresses acting on a bent beam. Clear?
Yes,
हाँ,
sir,
ठीक है, जो
बारहটা
ना
থেকে
একটু
ক্লাস
করিয়ে
আছে
দেবো।
আমাদের।
না স্যার করুন
হ্যাঁ 12টা থেকে
করুন স্যার।
তারপর ছেড়ে দেবো, ঠিক আছে? ওকে, সো এইটা হলো, সো এইটা আমি মুছে ফেলছি। আমি থিওরিটা বলে রাখছি, নেক্সট ডে থেকে প্রবলেম করবো। থিওরিটা খুব বড় কিছু না, কিন্তু এই বেসিক্স গুলো বোঝাটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট। না বেসিক্স বুঝলে একটা প্রবলেমও বুঝতে পারবে না। So see, it's written in page number 228. The minus sign is due to the fact that we have assumed bending moment to be positive, and the beam is concave upwards. So what is? So we have to understand what is the positive bending moment, and we have to understand what is the negative bending moment. Okay? So what is the positive bending moment? So positive bending moment is, suppose I am having a beam, I am applying forces like this, and I am having a beam, I am applying forces like this. So in this case, how the beam will bend? The beam will bend like this. So if this is the radius of curvature, center of curvature, and in this case, the beam will bend like this. So whenever a beam bends like this, I mean so whenever a beam bends like this, I mean the convex is on the lower side and upper side is concave. We will be having a positive bending moment, and we call it a sagging moment. ठीक है जी? You can now convex downwards. Just check the convex side. If it is on the downward side, you will be having sagging moment. And this one, so this is a positive BM. So this is a positive BM. And this is the negative bending. So this is, we call it as a hogging moment. In some books, they can call it as a hogging moment, where the convex side upwards. So this is a negative bending moment. ঠিক আছে? বুঝতে পেরেছো? So since the things we discussed, so we discuss the configuration like this, where actually the top side is in compression and the bottom side is in tension. ठीक है? So for our case, we have considered a positive bending moment. We have considered the moments like this. The beams bend short of this. If we have done our derivation in this fashion, then we would have said that the moment was negative. So whenever you are moving on the upper side, you are actually having compression, and whenever you are moving on the lower side, you are having tensile forces when there is a positive bending moment. Acha. So up to this discussed, stress of the kori diye ekটু dalo. So what will be the stress? So now we come to page number 229. You go to page number 229. Go to page number 229. So let us assume that the Young's modulus of the beam material be capital E, and we assume that actually the material follows Hooke's law. Maybe the material might not follow Hooke's law, then you could not have applied sigma x is equal to E epsilon x. So there are certain assumptions in the pure bending expression. So what are the assumptions? So the first assumption is like we are assuming that the material remains within the proportional limit and the elastic limit as well. So that is why you are always able to apply sigma x is equal to E epsilon x. So sigma x is equal to E epsilon x, and we are assuming that the material is homogeneous. So unless it's a homogeneous material, like since the material is homogeneous, actually the properties are always the same in every direction. So you won't have to work with Ex, Ey, and Ez. So Young's modulus, you can take it always capital E. Okay? So sigma x, that is equal to E into epsilon x. So now you put the value of epsilon x. So what is the value of epsilon x? So epsilon x you got কত পেয়েছিলে? minus
y by rho.
minus y by rho. সেই মাঝে জায়গাটা স্কিপ করে গেছি তো করলে হবে না। ঠিক আছে, আজকে এত অবধি থাক, তোমরা একটু পড়ো জিনিসটা, জাস্ট ইউ স্টাডি মানে আমাকে একটু ওই সিটি গুলো বলতে হবে যে ওই
স্যার
হোয়াট ইজ সি
ওখানে
এন্ড অল
বইয়ের
সি
মধ্যে
ম্যাক্স সি
একটা
মিন এগুলো বলে আমাকে
ট্রাপিজয়েডাল
এটাতে
করেছে,
যেতে হবে।
ওখানে একটা ডিসটেন্স সি নিয়েছে, ওটা কি করেছে ওই
হ্যাঁ, ট্রাপিজয়েডাল they have shown like trapezoidal is c is the distance of the মানে c is the মানে distance of the কি বলবো মানে outermost fiber, ঠিক আছে? So in this case you can understand the maximum moment will be on the top side, compression side, because c on the up side is greater than c on the bottom side, ঠিক আছে? Actually মানে there might be some symmetric cross sections, there might be some unsymmetric cross sections, so you might be having a cross section like this. So whenever if you're drawing the neutral axis, so neutral axis always coincides with the the CG of the body, centroid of the body. সেটা আমরা আসবো আস্তে আস্তে করবো, তাই জন্য আমি একদিন আর পড়ালাম না। But if you consider like say a P section, P cross section of a beam, তাহলে এই ক্ষেত্রে কি হবে? The neutral axis will be somewhere around here. So actually this C, so you'll be having this will be C mean and this will be C max. ঠিক আছে? So actually I have to define C actually. So it will take some time since you have class from 12. I won't drag it long. ঠিক আছে? আজকে
নিউট্রাল
জন্য এটুকু
অ্যাক্সিস
থাক।
যেটা আমরা নেব মানে যে কোনো শেপের বিমের ক্ষেত্রে, তো ওটার জন্য সেন্টার অফ
ঠিক আছে, আচ্ছা what you asked is C is the distance of the outermost fiber. It can be on the tension side, compression side, but the maximum distance of the outer fiber. So as you can understand, since it's trapezoidal, C we have taken it on the top side, not the bottom side, because bottom side the distance is lower. On the top side the distance is higher. So on the top side you will be having C max, on the bottom side you will be having C mean. So that is why this value of C. So either C max, C mean, we take the value of C max. ঠিক আছে? So ওই C টা I have to define actually. সেই জন্য আমি আজকে আর করছি না, C define করে অনেকটা সময় লাগবে, 12টার মধ্যে হবে না। So you just study this chapter on beams. So as a homework you do all the problems what's left in like ওই যেখানে এটা বেঁচে আছে, what's left in your stress strain and all uniaxial loading, you do all the other problems, you can ask me. Beam basic theory you study, I will be completing the theory on the next day and we'll be moving to some problems on bending, ঠিক আছে? From the Beer Johnston book itself. You study all these things, when neutral axis key, what is positive bending moment, what is negative bending moment, and all these things you just
স্যার
study.
বলছি নিউট্রাল অ্যাক্সিস কি সবসময় সেন্টার অফ মাসই পাস হবে, মানে ওখান দিয়ে করতে হবে?
Center of mass না CG দিয়ে পাস হবে, এই centroid দিয়ে পাস হবে, because always if you are with the cross section, মানে always the cross section is always a plane figure. Any beam you take its cross section, it's always a plane figure. So the centroid actually represents the neutral axis, but the neutral axis rather passes to the centroid of the beam actually, centroid of the cross section of the beam. মানে beamটা বুঝতে পারছো? The beam can be of any shape. মানে beam is something like this. ধরো এরকম ধরো, it can be of this shape also. It is also a beam. This is also a beam. ঠিক আছে? ধরো it can be L shaped beam, যেটা আমি বললাম অটোমোবাইল চেসিসে।
তো মানে স্যার আমাদেরকে কি মানে চেক করতে হয় নাকি যে কোন বিমটা কত বেশি লোড নিতে পারবে, তো ওগুলাই হচ্ছে ডিজাইনের কাজগুলো নাকি?
অবশ্যই, ভেরি গুড, এটা অবশ্যই, বিকজ তোমাদের আমি বলেও দিচ্ছি, আই এম জাস্ট টেলিং ইউ, ইটস ইন গিভেন ইন দিস বুক অলসো। দেখছি এটাতে আছে কিনা, না এখানে আমি দেখছি না, বোধহয় ওই গিয়ার টিয়ারের বইয়ে কোথাও আছে। So they have provided certain মানে কি বলবো, certain comparisons between different beams and what is their bending strength, how much bending they can resist. So they have certain মানে there are certain formulas and there are some things how we can compare the beams of different cross sections and all. ঠিক আছে? So based on the beam design or the beam cross section, so the beam cross section actually helps it to resist bending. So the beam cross section is always essential, what sort of the beam is to be selected for a particular application.
Awesome.
So anything more you want to ask? আচ্ছা ক্লাসটা করব। হ্যাঁ
প্লিজ অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা নেবেন।
হ্যাঁ নিয়ে নিচ্ছি, বলো।
103 প্রণয় সুর।
স্যার 26।
103 আর
স্যার 60 বাই 116 স্যার।
স্যার বেরিয়ে যাবো
স্যার।
হ্যাঁ বাকিরা রিলেটিভ।
ঠিক আছে
স্যার, 26 দিয়েছেন 116।
দাঁড়াও 116 116 প্রেজেন্ট, দেন
26 স্যার।
others can disconnect, ঠিক আছে? others can disconnect, others can You just study about bending. Tomorrow we'll be doing problems on bending, some derivations and then problems.
Tomorrow, sir, tomorrow from 11 to 12, right? Oh, sir, 11 to 12. Okay, sir. Okay.
Then क्या है Swarnendu 116. Then
169.
Sir, 100, sir.
100. अच्छा.
100. 30 attendance. Which is?
100. Then
Sir, 30.
30. 30. अच्छा. तापरे then who else?
123. 123. 123, sir.
Sir, 126. His audio is glitching. That's why I told. Hello,
Okay,
sir. Sombaditya Patra.
बोलो 126. 126. हाँ. Then 126. Then
মনে হয় না কি হচ্ছে আপনি একবার লাস্টে যাতে নামটা কনফার্ম করে
দিয়েছেন
হ্যাঁ?
026 দিয়েছেন
একবার সবার নামটা কনফার্ম করে দিন স্যার
আমি করে
ও না
দিচ্ছি।
সম্মানিত মাত্র 123 ও এখন লিখলো
না দাঁড়াও, তুমি কারটা বললে প্রথমে 126 বললে না?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ওটা আমিও শুনতে ভুল করেছি 123
সমদীপ সেনগুপ্ত অ্যাবসেন্ট করলাম।
না না সমাদীপ সেনগুপ্ত সম্বাদিত্য পাত্র 123 দেখুন চ্যাটে লিখেছি
126 অ্যাবসেন্ট 123 তাই তো? আচ্ছা আমি একবার রিপিট করে দিচ্ছি, কারো থাকলে বলে দাও।
স্যার একটা জিনিস মনে হয়
ডিসকানেক্ট করছি। হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ স্যার একটা জিনিস আমার মনে হয় সেটা হচ্ছে সমদীপ জেনারেলি ক্লাস মানে মিস করে না, তাও আমি কনফার্ম হয়ে নিচ্ছি। ঠিক আছে
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, 126 আমি পরে দিয়েছি, যদি হয় আমাকে কনফার্ম করে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ করে দিও। আচ্ছা রোল নাম্বার আমি যেটা বলছি, রোল নাম্বার 5 হচ্ছে অ্যাবসেন্ট। আচ্ছা রোল নাম্বার 17 হচ্ছে অ্যাবসেন্ট। আচ্ছা তারপরে রোল নাম্বার 39 হচ্ছে অ্যাবসেন্ট। তারপরে হচ্ছে রোল নাম্বার 47 হচ্ছে অ্যাবসেন্ট। তারপরে হচ্ছে রোল নাম্বার 54 হচ্ছে অ্যাবসেন্ট। তারপরে হচ্ছে রোল নাম্বার 88 হচ্ছে অ্যাবসেন্ট। রোল নাম্বার 91 অ্যাবসেন্ট। তারপরে রোল নাম্বার 112 অ্যাবসেন্ট। রোল নাম্বার 115 অ্যাবসেন্ট। আচ্ছা রোল নাম্বার 122 অ্যাবসেন্ট। রোল নাম্বার 126 অ্যাবসেন্ট। আর রোল নাম্বার 129 অ্যাবসেন্ট। রোল নাম্বার 131 অ্যাবসেন্ট। আচ্ছা রোল নাম্বার 145 অ্যাবসেন্ট। ঠিক আছে? If I have missed someone, please WhatsApp me. ঠিক আছে?
ওকে স্যার ওকে স্যার
Okay, sir.
So I am disconnecting.
ওকে স্যার
Okay.